Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad be pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more pesto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, don't make pesos. Hit your sauce, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like them keeping score. Ay, 16 cars in my front yard. Ay, 30 on my wrist while I point to God.
Big numbers, 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ay, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin, but he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, count it up. Ay, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ay, she want it like me, cause her like she can count on him. She try to be nosy and hit on my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like them keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist while I point to God.
Big numbers, 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts, whole team counting, that's a big number.
Back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up.
First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Detroit Lions. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Watch the shit. General West. Nice.
On 1st and 10, Riley. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. 5 yards on the game's first play, 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. So the delay of game penalty moves it back 5. That makes it 2nd and 10. From the gun, Riley. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Look at me, zipper. Target. Slam. Go. Go.
To throw on third down, Riley. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain it.
And watching him play is like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big gain, run past you, and then uses his size and his physical abilities to keep you away from the football. Hard to defend this guy.
Reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside. Inside the 15, inside the 5, superb.
Here we go. Touch the outlaw. 53. Good track.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
He's coming. Hey, double up. Mike's 54. 54. Come off the ball, hard. Hey, watch that. Check Michael.
Now Jackson back into his end zone. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, we thought these 2 defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away, because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
We go set. 60 outlaw. 6-6. Pull it high. Rapid. Watch safety creep. Safety's creeping. Check.
They'll run. This is Kamara. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On the double. 80 weapon. Check. Hatch it. Hey, lock it. Ready.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. Of course, remember last week, week number 1, quite the opener for him, NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he does not want to be a flash in the pan. He wants to have that type of a game each and every week. Let's see if he can get a second award in week 2 of the season.
6 guys. Check, look at me. Score. Check it out.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They get this to Smith on the jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Check three. Watch out. Back. Switch. Yep. Go. Now.
On 3rd down, Riley. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. From the gun, Jackson. He's going to air one out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Throwing is Jackson. That's complete to Marlon Mack. And they're going to get the first down here as he's up to the 14. They get 9 there, and in the process escaping their end zone, picking up a first down.
1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now they try the right side here. And down he'll go at the 25. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
All day, every day.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Jackson throwing again, going up top. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On 3rd down, Jackson.
Let's go, defense.
Looking right sideline, that's complete. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Jackson now. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hawkinson. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Jackson. That's going to be caught. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defense. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions have taken the lead. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 5. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Set up.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sideline.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. Thomas, the intended target. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Then he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get a second touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a second. Second down and goal. Jackson.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. To throw is Jackson. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on third down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
And his kick here is good. And that'll push the lead up to 8. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Let's go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Check the backer, check the backer.
Look, squeeze.
Check 25.
Shoot.
Toss play, Kamara. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner, but where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Now it's Kamara in the passing game. I call it no gain there on the first down play. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watched that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah. Not
an actual player? Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And that will be incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
An ideal beginning of the drive there is they'll get 20 and a first down. This quarterback now 5 out of 10, 50%. Throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Now Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson throwing deep for Galladay. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Jackson will throw again. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Yeah.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Detroit. Antonio Callaway, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
A 7-yard victory.
Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And a loose football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Now Mostert. And he'll get it down here to the 43. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Kamara try the right side. A good move on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Watch the eye. X3, 218, chopper. Check 13. Hey, Sam off.
Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Protein spill, bravo. I got you. I got you. 51.
Operating from the gun. Riley. It's caught. Smith. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
General West. 51. Hey, defense. Go. 51's the mic. 51's the mic. Shoot.
On 4th down, Riley. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. This is Mostert. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
61, matchbox, light.
At the 10-yard line.
Hey, Zoo. Now.
To throw on 2nd down. Riley. Back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half. Incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back. Go.
To throw on 3rd down. Riley. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Lutz is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to... Ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. 20, 10. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Escaping the pressure right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off at the 11. Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Cameron Jordan showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming.
To try again after the sack. Jackson. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hawkinson. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Watch the slant. Check, get it.
Looking to throw on second down. Riley looking here for Smith downfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. The Saints on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is third down and 12. Looking to throw. Riley. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A good return there, 17 yards, and the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions.
Oh, wide open, complete. It's a big play there for the Lions. 46 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Now they'll run it on the toss. He will push his way down to about the 14. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. Out of the gun, here's a give to Mack. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Here's a quick throw complete to Galladay. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
Rush in. Rush zone. Rush in.
Jackson from the shotgun. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. From 6 yards away as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Got it.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up.
And got his man complete. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the 1st. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Darius Slay with a pick. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play there for Detroit. 59 yards. Now Jackson on 1st down. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Let's go.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Here we go.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again, and that'll bring up second down. Off the play fake. Riley sliding out of the pocket. He's going to let it fly. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at about the 31. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas.
So many times we end the game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Go! 55! Right there in the middle, 55! Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And here we go.
Now it's Jackson. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Going to throw deep. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Drop deep, drop deep.
Throwing is Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
Yeah, boy. That's our...
The defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep...